welcome. I'm Riya Atul Siddiqui. Now let me begin this broadcast by quoting the Prime Minister of the country. India's unity has never been a necessity, but it has been its uniqueness. This is precisely what Prime Minister Narendra Modi underlined while speaking on the occasion of National Unity Day and the 147th birth anniversary of Sardar Patel. And as the Prime Minister chose to celebrate India's Ekta in Gujarat's Ekta Nagar, he also said that campaigns are being run to make one Indian language an enemy of the other. Remember, the Prime Minister had on several occasions pointed out that the knowledge of English has gone on to be considered as a mark of being intellectual rather than it just being perceived as a medium of communication. A sentiment that has been echoed by Home Minister Amit Shah as well. Prime Minister's statement has come in the backdrop of the controversy over the recommendation of a parliamentary panel to make Hindi as the medium of instruction in central educational institutions and how that has led to the southern chief ministers like M.K. Stalin, like Pinarayi Vijayan accusing the centre of Hindi imposition. Now remember, there is no national language for India and the Indian constitution had never titled Hindi as the official language of the country. Only in 1950. It accorded the status of official language to Hindi along with English under Article 343. Now, India has as many as 22 official languages and another 41 are queued to find place in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Now, as per the 2011 census, which is the last reliable information in India's diverse population, only about 44% of Indians speak Hindi. So, is the argument of shunning the colonial mindset by promoting only Hindi really justified? And if the centre really isn't just throwing its weight behind Hindi, then why the backlash? How much of water does the claim of vilifying Hindi really hold? Take a look.
कभी एक भारतीय भाषा को दूसरी भारतीय भाषा का दुश्मन बनाने के लिए कैंपेन चलाए जाते हैं। इतिहास को भी इस तरफ पेश किया जाता है ताकि देश के लोग जुड़े नहीं बल्कि एक दूसरे से दूर हो। देश को कमजोर करने वाली ताकत गुलामी की मानसिकता के रूप में हमारे भीतर घर कर जाती है।
I don't know why the hidden agenda BJP government is implementing all over the India. It is very clear Hindi is not a national language, but intentionally BJP is trying to send the message it is a national language.
So we are talking about the opposition towards this Hindi push. Now, here's what all that has happened and the many in opposition, what have they gone on to say when it comes to what they are calling as Hindi chauvinism? Let's take a look at that first. Now, when it comes to the political salvos that have been fired, that is today, TKS Elangovan of the DMK has said that they cannot go and make one language as the national language. That has come from Elangovan. Today itself, Congress party's Ramesh Babu has said that Congress has a respect for regional dialects. BJP, in fact, has a hidden agenda. That's another argument that's been made by the Congress. On October 15th, remember, Udayanithi Stalin of the DMK, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, of course, has gone ahead and also supported this claim by Udayanithi Stalin that people of Tamil Nadu will never accept Hindi imposition. So that strong argument has always remained when it comes to the southern states, especially Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. September 12th, what had happened is JDS's H.D. Kumaraswamy has gone ahead and said that celebrating Hindi Diwas is an injustice to Kannadigas. Like I mentioned, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka have always gone ahead and maintained that strong opposition against what they are talking about as Hindi opposition. Now, here's what the Prime Minister has claimed over the statements that he's made when it comes to the claims against Hindi push. Now, what he has said today is that there are campaigns that are being run to make one Indian language an enemy of the other. Now, clearly he's talking about Hindi over here and he's saying that there is a concerted attempt to vilify Hindi. On August 15th, if you might remember, he had also said that we need to be proud of every language in our country. So he's also talking about elevating the regional languages here. May 20th, the same year, this year, he also said that this should be seen as a reflection of Indian culture as far as every regional language is concerned. So once again, taking all regional languages forward. On May 20th this year, he also said that languages are a link to the country's better future. This again is not really pushing Hindi. He is just opening it out, talking about that elevation of regional languages. So this is the argument that has been put forth. So as we dive into this language debate today, let me remind you all, when the country became independent, there was a proposal of demarking the state borders based on language. However, as the population was speaking multiple languages of millions, the only solution that came forth was the formation of the 8th schedule of the Constitution, which comprised of a list of languages as the country's official languages. Moreover, the government is obligated to ensure their development. Pretty much, the Prime Minister has ensured that all through his speeches, he goes ahead and maintains that as well. So we are asking today, Prime Minister's Ekta pitch, language made political tool, is that the right argument? Now to open this, let me actually bring in my guests on the broadcast. So joining me this evening is Mr. Prashant GS of the BJP. Also joining me is Sujata Paul of the Congress Party. A. Saravanan of the DMK joins us. Also joining us is Mr. Varun Singh, who is a political analyst. Now let me begin with you, Prashant. When it comes to going ahead and opposing what is being called English elitism, why do you think Hindi makes the cut as opposed to the other regional languages?
See, firstly, you have to understand that India is a country with diverse heritage and culture and multi-languages. And keeping that in mind, the North-South divide, what it is being made out to be, is not really the essence. It's probably the opposition is using it as a tool. All that the Prime Minister is saying that through his word and actions and deeds is that the unity of the country is of utmost importance, and the occasion that he chose to spoke today was on the 31st October today being Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's day there in Kevadiya, Gujarat. So therefore, the English elitism versus Hindi taking a push, it's not like that. If you look at how native speakers are there, probably Hindi has a higher percentage of native speakers compared to other languages. But that doesn't mean the other regional languages are being given a go-by. For example, if you take Karnataka, my state, we are celebrating Kannada Rajyotsava tomorrow in a very big way. And to top it up, 2 days ago, we had a program called Koti Kanta Gayana, which means 1 crore people came together from different locations and sang 6 different songs of Karnataka, depicting Kannada culture, which means every state will have its pride, its own language. As well as the nation's interests always will be protected, and more so, we are there is a unity, and as a nation, I think we need to move ahead of this petty language politics and look at how the India first or making India great should, and definitely it's not a case of stifling some voices or imposing Hindi. It's more to do with each region or each language has its own distinct position, and also
no, but when the Prime Minister goes ahead and talks about vilifying Hindi, where he's saying that there is an attempt that is being made to make an enemy out of one language as opposed to the other, what does he exactly mean by that?
See, what's happening is lot of opponents or political wanting to score some brownie points, unable to counter our Prime Minister on development works, are trying to pick up on this. We have to promote Hindi as against other languages. It's definitely not the case. Each language is getting its due. The Honorable Prime Minister has responded. Just tries to make it a point to greet.
Okay, Prashant, there seems to be some sort of a problem with your link. We'll have that fixed in just a bit. Let me take this to Sujata. Sujata, do you think this point that Prashant was making is then an attempt to actually have this linguistic nationalism so that Hindi is made to appear as actually surmounting on other regional languages, and that sort of, is actually pushing this argument of Hindi chauvinism where it should not be in the first place?
I thought that was the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. So I'm a little confused as to what he's wanting to say and what the Prime Minister is trying to talk about. Yes, we believe in pluralism. We believe in the pluralistic society that India is. We want everybody to be together, but everybody actually means that we are many flowers in a garden.
Yeah.
सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा और हर गुल इस गुलिस्तान में खिलता हुआ अच्छा लगता है. So when we talk about unity, did you notice one thing, Reha, that today the Prime Minister did speak about unity, but he did not speak about unity in diversity. He has basically, divided to rule, and now he is ruling and dividing, because as the Prime Minister, he was using a platform of the government where he should have brought everybody together rather than attacking people. And the Prime Minister must understand that he does not belong only to the Bharatiya Janata Party. He is the Prime Minister of every single person in this country. So as far as languages are concerned, these languages are our heritage and each language should be promoted. But when the Prime Minister talks about anybody vilifying one language, and if we are talking about Hindi being vilified, I don't know who's doing it. I think it starts from the Prime Minister, the manner in which the Home Minister has also spoken about Hindi, being used as a language. In medical colleges, our students are going to aspire to work abroad also, or won't they? So we need to have uniformity there. We must allow our students to flower, and our languages should be allowed to develop, and they should be conserved. But when we talk about the Prime Minister, he has used a platform today, which is the platform of the government, and he has used, Sardar Patel, who was the first person to ban the RSS after independence. So when he speaks from a platform where he is talking about Sardar Patel, he should imbibe all the qualities that have been put forth by the first Home Minister.
But you must also remember that in 1950, Sardar Patel was the very person who had mentioned that if people from the southern states of the country do not go ahead and learn the language, they might have difficulty in getting jobs, central government jobs. So that also was out there. I'd like to bring in Mr. Saravanan here. I'll come back to you, Sujata. Mr. Saravanan, do you think when it comes to talking about Hindi chauvinism, that should not be a right argument? Because when it comes to states like Bengal or Maharashtra, don't you think that regional language chauvinism is there in those states as well?
See, the question here is, what is the union government doing? What is the agenda of the union government? We have now seen how the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, both of them, have driving an agenda to portray English as the evil. English is one language which has ensured that India has remained a truly federal setup. English is the insurance policy against majoritarianism. It is the bulwark of our federal nature of the constitution. But by saying that we are going to give importance to regional language, why are you worried about not knowing English? But English is the link language of our country. We don't want Tamil Nadu, people from Tamil Nadu will not accept Hindi as the link language. The agenda of the Home Minister seems to be to drive away English and ensure that Hindi as the link language. Once Hindi comes in as the link language, everybody who is not a non-native speaker of Hindi will be treated as second-class citizens. You pointed out only the SSC, staff selection examinations, which has been announced a few days back, 24,000 government jobs, union government jobs, will be given only to people who know English and Hindi. If you know only Tamil, if you know only Telugu, only Malayalam, you will not be able to even write that examination. Are these people not paying taxes for the union government? Don't they have the right to join the union government services?
But Mr. Saravanan, even the southern states have the three-language policy. That is also an argument against you guys.
No. We don't. In Tamil Nadu, in the state of Tamil Nadu, we don't follow the 3-language policy. We only follow the 2-language policy. See, the staff selection examination, it doesn't require a great deal of education. It's only 10th standard pass is required to write that examination. How do you expect a 10th standard pass to be proficient in 3 languages? So this is the discrimination. BJP is a Hindi majoritarian party. They want to push Hindi by all ways and means. That is why they are taking a sly campaign against English. Let us not forget that India has become a superpower, has become such economically so well grown because of the use of English. Let us not forget that now the BJP is trying to reverse that. They are trying to portray as though English is bad for us. It is not true. It is what is very disappointing and sad is that even the Prime Minister and the Home Minister are touting this agenda. That is the most sad and pathetic thing.
Okay.
We will not allow this.
All right. All right. Let me come back. Let me come back to you. Let me actually bring in Varun also. Varun, why do you think this entire debate of having a link language, Hindi being a link language, how did this go on to actually talking about employment, generating jobs? If you do not learn Hindi, you possibly will not get government jobs. Why did it go there?
So, firstly, I don't understand why Tamil Nadu doesn't follow the 3-language system when every state in the country does it. What is the harm if you... can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
I'm saying when... I was very surprised. Actually, I got a bit emotional that an alien language like English can be the link language, but not a Hindi. So non-accepting that
Varun, I'm really sorry. I'm getting
is...
some breaking news. I'm really sorry to interrupt this broadcast, but we have some important breaking news that we need to take. Searches are currently being conducted at the houses of the editors of The Wire. In fact, we are told that Delhi Crime Branch is conducting these searches at the houses of Siddharth Vardarajan and also M.K. Venu. My colleague Anvit, who has brought us all those details, is joining us on the broadcast. Yes, Anvit.
Yes, see, what we are learning from our sources in Delhi police is that searches are right now going on in the houses of these 2 people who are known as founders of The Wire. And see, the allegations had earlier been as an FIR was registered by Delhi police on the complaint of BJP's IT cell head Amit Malviya, who had given a complaint alleging that forged documents were used by The Wire, a news portal, in its reporting. And it had after the received a complaint from Amit Malviya, Delhi police had actually registered an FIR under sections of 420 and other sections of the IT Act. And acting on this FIR, the searches are right now underway at Siddharth Vardarajan's house and at the houses of other of the news portals, the founders. Also, what we are learning from the sources are that these searches had just begun 2 to 3 hours from now, and they're expected to go on for a while because the multiple teams of crime branch have been deputed, and it was a kind of elaborate operation that was pulled off by the crime branch just a few hours from now, and it is expected to go on for at least 2 to 3 hours from now.
Anvit, if you can just take our viewers through the background of this case, considering this was actually lodged, this complaint was lodged by BJP's IT cell chief, Mr. Amit Malviya. Just take our viewers through the report that was printed in The Wire.
This complaint dates back to last month. It was October 6th, when he had given a complaint alleging that on this date, The Wire had published a report claiming that Meta had removed an Instagram post within a few minutes of it being uploaded by a private account. And the report claimed that the company regularly colludes with members of the BJP in removing content that deemed unfavorable to the party. Also, further, Amit Malviya had gone on to claim that the report went on to cite alleged internal correspondence of Meta to justify its claims, alleging he had used said privileges to take down a total of more than 700 posts till date. So these are the allegations following which Amit Malviya had filed a complaint. And important to mention that sections that had been added by the Delhi police following BJP IT cell's chief complaint were 420 of cheating, and some sections of the IT Act and 120B, which is criminal conspiracy, were also added in this FIR.
Also, there was no apology that came in from The Wire from what ensued after that, and hence these searches also. If you could also take our viewers through the number of teams of the Delhi police that are currently deployed at these two residences that we are talking about of Mr. Vardarajan and M.K. Venu?
As we have spoken to some senior officials, a number of exact teams they have not divulged, and this is something that is that are operational details, and officers might not divulge these details. But this is certain, and they have confirmed that the searches are on. And this is particularly in this case, in which the complaint was given by Amit Malviya, and this has also been confirmed that teams have been deputed to both their houses, and searches are currently on, which started a short while ago, but are expected to go on for a few hours.
Right, Anand, stay on with us. Let me take this across to my colleague Shankar Anand also joining us. Shankar, ये जो claims जो छापी गई थी वायर में, उसको मेटा ने डिनाई किया था. अब दिल्ली पुलिस ऑफिसर्स वायर के जितने चीफ्स हैं, स्पेशली मिस्टर वरदराजन और एम.के. वेणु के घर के बाहर हैं, आगे क्या जानकारी दे सकते हैं हमें?
देखिए, दिल्ली पुलिस की क्राइम ब्रांच के द्वारा 29 अक्टूबर को एक एफआईआर रजिस्टर किया गया था और ये एफआईआर दिल्ली पुलिस की क्राइम ब्रांच के द्वारा दर्ज किया गया था. जिस तरह से आरोप की बात करें, कई संगीन धाराओं के तहत इस मामले में मामला दर्ज किया गया था, जिसमें अगर तमाम धाराओं की अगर बात करें तो आईपीसी की धारा 420, 468, 469, 471 सहित कई अन्य दूसरी जो धाराएं हैं, जैसे कि 120 भी और 34 ऑफ द इंडियन पैनल कोड, इन तमाम धाराओं के तहत मामला दर्ज किया गया था. और जिस तरह से कई संगीन आरोप अमित मालवीय पे लगाए गए थे, सिद्धार्थ वरदराजन जो एक पत्रकार है उसके द्वारा आरोप लगाए गए थे, तो इन तमाम मामलों की गंभीरता को देखते हुए बाद में एफआईआर रजिस्टर्ड हुआ और उसी एफआईआर के आधार पर आज ये कार्रवाई की जा रही है. अगर एफआईआर की बात करें तो तकरीबन ये एफआईआर काफी लंबी एफआईआर थी, तकरीबन 7 पन्नों की ये एफआईआर है और उसी एफआईआर के आधार पर तमाम मामलों की तफ्तीश करने के लिए उसके एक क्राइम ब्रांच की एक विशेष टीम का गठन किया गया और उसके बाद आगे इस मामले की इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है. सब इंस्पेक्टर देवेंद्र कुमार नाम के आईओ हैं इस केस में, जो इस मामले की आगे इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रहे थे, और पंकज मलिक जो क्राइम ब्रांच के इंस्पेक्टर हैं, उनके मार्गदर्शन में इस इन्वेस्टिगेशन को आगे बढ़ाया जा रहा है. और जिस तरह से सर्च ऑपरेशन और आगे की इन्वेस्टिगेशन की अगर बात करें तो कहा जा सकता है इन तमाम मामलों पर सिद्धार्थ वरदराजन जो है उनकी मुश्किलें, इसके साथ साथ कई लोगों की जो मुश्किलें आने वाले वक्त में बढ़ सकती हैं. जी,
let me actually go back to my colleague Anvit now. Anvit, in fact, Anvit, stay on with us. RP Singh of the BJP is also joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Singh, more developments when it comes to that Meta article in the Wire. Although it was retracted by the Wire, the police is still knocking on their doors because of the FIR lodged by Mr. Malviya.
Well, you can't shoot and scoot. I mean, you can't do a false propaganda, put a false news, and then run away from it. So, Mr. Amit Malviya, within his right, has filed a complaint, and police is taking due action accordingly and trying to find out the documents, trying to collect documentary evidence from the Wire's office.
And Mr. Singh, what would you make of the kind of apology that was printed in the Wire after retraction of the article, after distancing itself from the articles that were printed by 2 reporters of the Wire, and how they had claimed that they could not, go ahead and verify what was actually printed before it went on print, to print?
I worked in newspaper for a long time, and there's nothing which goes without the consent of the editorial board and without the consent of the editorial desk.
Okay.
So this need to be verified. Let police verify this, that whether it went without the consent or whether it went with the consent. Once the police investigate, we'll come to know about it.
All right, Mr. RP Singh, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. So this is the latest that we are breaking for our viewers. The searches are currently being carried out at the premises of the editors of The Wire. The Delhi Crime Branch officers are currently at the houses of Sardar Patel and M.K. Venu. We leave it at that. Up next is Plain Speak with my colleague Shivani.